going to be great to be with you guys today. We're going to get Muhammad on here to join us. And we're going to be talking about Muhammad's journey to fitness and overcoming a big injury. He's got quite a story to tell, also as a busy marketing executive. So he's going to join us here in just a second. There we go. Hi, Rose. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. There he is.
Hi.
The man, the
Hi.
myth, the
Yeah,
legend himself.
I really hope so.
That's
Hi,
right. That's
Joseph.
right. It's good to see you, Habibi. Good to see you.
Hi. Hey, man.
Uh,
What time is it now in the
for
States
me, it's
where you
nine
are?
o'clock. 9 o'clock in the morning, so it's not too early.
Oh,
I woke up 15 minutes
yeah.
ago. So
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You look great, man.
yeah,
For someone who just woke up.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm
Excellent.
lucky. It was a good early morning over here, but I'm still getting used to this 8 hour difference between you guys in Amman and me here in America, and the fact that you guys today's a day off for you guys, but for me it's kind of a regular day. I'm still not used
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah, I think it takes a little bit of time.
hmm
But how long have you been in the States now? Like when
three
you
months, 3 months for
3 months?
me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gone
Wow.
by fast, but
That's
I
yeah,
have to
that's a long
say,
time. Yeah.
alhamdulillah, the government of Jordan now has changed their flight rules, and coming in, it looks like
Yeah.
I can come in now, and it's only a 7 day home quarantine, and so
Exactly. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna sneak in. I'm gonna wear a wig and a disguise and come in and spy on you guys at the gym and make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do.
I think you're just gonna find it exactly as the your team is doing a great job running the box.
Yeah.
I think the past 9 months for me in CrossFit Crescent, be it part of the quarantine workouts or even the workouts of the box itself, has been an amazing experience.
Mm.
You have an amazing team. They just know what they're doing, and they don't keep anything. They just they're just very generous with the information that they give to members, the way they deal with everyone individually, and how they cater for their needs is just amazing.
Mm.
So yeah.
Well, that's
All
good.
right.
It's
So
good to hear that. There's a saying, right? And I think
yeah,
you have it in Arabic too, that when the cat is away,
yeah.
the
What is that?
the mice will play, and but
Oh,
everyone, right?
yeah,
But
that's right.
everyone,
Yeah, that's it.
but this true is
I,
that our coaches are all
I,
so committed to the greater mission of Crescent, which is truly what we want to see. Is we want to see people living with courage in today's world. And if there was ever a time that we really need courage, now
yeah,
is that time, and our own physical health, plays such a big
yeah,
part of that. And your story, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on here, was because I think you've shown that kind of courage. And so I wanted, if you could kind of just introduce
yeah,
yourself just a little bit about who you are, a little
yeah,
bit about your family and the work you do, and
yeah,
then go back for me and just start and talk about, you had mentioned before about kind of as you turned 30 years old, and
yeah,
what you were seeing in your health, and then a little bit about
yeah,
the story in the restaurant.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So about myself, my name is Muhammad Abdullah, as you know. But by the way, I go by Mo. So a lot of my friends
Oh,
and people in the office, they just call me Mo, just to be distinctive from name perspective, because the name is just
yeah,
very popular.
I hear you.
Um, so I'm half Jordanian, half Egyptian. From my mom's side, I lived in Egypt for a few good years back in the 90s, and my mom, she's from this beautiful city in the northeast coast of Egypt. It's on the Mediterranean Sea. It's called Port Said.
Port Said,
I
yeah.
lived there. Yeah, I lived there a few good years, and I came back to Jordan in the early 2000s when I started my major in software engineering.
Mm,
Uh, and I think I started my career in marketing during my last year, like my senior year in university, when I joined this telecom company that is called now Omnia, but called back then Batico Jordan. And 16 years later, I'm now the head of marketing for Samsung in the Levant region, not as you guys mentioned, the MENA region and your
Levant.
Facebook ad. Yeah, Levant. Yeah, Levant is geographically speaking, Levant is Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Palestine. But the area that I'm managing from business perspective, it's Iraq, Jordan, and Lebanon. I've been doing this, whole marketing thing for the past 16 years, and it's been quite a journey. Yeah. So to talk about my health and health improvement journey, I remember when I was 29 years old, I was a bigger guy, and a friend of mine, like she's a very deep friend, she wanted to give me an advice, and I remember clearly telling me that more or less than 30 is the year when things start to happen. So I was like, what do you mean by that? That's when she said, it's like, your body changes, and that's when you will start, maybe getting sick if you don't take care of yourself. Ironically speaking, when like a month after turning 30, I was in this business trip with colleagues in Lebanon. And I remember feeling a lot of pain here, like in my chest, a lot of tightness. So going to the doctor, and after a few tests, I had, like, the doctor told me that I had a high cholesterol levels, and he said that there are two ways to act about this. One is to start taking medication for the rest of my life. The other way is to start adapting a more healthy living. And you know how, like, there's someone who doesn't have the foundation to be like, for an athlete, there's a very high barrier of entry for a lot of sports. So I think I chose walking / running for the first few maybe months. But at the same time, I was I decided to join this small gym in Jordan, and with a personal trainer. And you know how, like, personal training is in a lot of gyms, you just pay a lot of money for someone who just tells you go jump on the treadmill, run for 15 minutes. Yeah, and then he just goes and talk with someone else, ignoring that you actually exist as a person. Yeah, it's unfortunately a reality in a lot of gyms in Jordan. So I think that I stayed like this for almost 3 months. And the only reason I accepted that is he was just a reminder for me. I was paying him a lot of money per class.
Kind of for the accountability.
Exactly, but he played as a reminder for me to just go to the gym every week, 3 times every week. And it did go well for some time. And then a friend of mine, I think you know him, his name is Layth al-Masri. He started the CrossFit in Jordan back at the time. And he told me, why don't you come and just try it out? So that was like my first class, like my first sport ever in a CrossFit box. And there was, so I remember I went there and there was a class before me. And I'm seeing all those people, they're just lying on the ground, panting, and, they're short breaths. And so this guy, he was an American guy. He saw a lot of fear on my face. His name was Zeke. So Zeke, he came and he told me, listen, it's going to be fun.
He said, sure.
There's like, I was like, are you sure? So for me, there was a lot of terror and there was a lot of excitement, I guess.
Yeah.
I couldn't know how to feel.
I think that's a pretty, a lot of times when people come in and they see people and they see, whoa, this is way different, no machines, and people really are pushing themselves hard. And like you said, at the end of a workout, they'll be maybe even laying on the ground, and that can be intimidating a bit. But you can feel too, there's a bit of hope that, whoa, this is different. Maybe this could really work and I could really enjoy it. So you felt those same things.
Exactly, especially the lead coach back then was a very close friend of mine.
So you could
So
trust them a little bit. Yeah. You're willing to try it.
exactly,
Hmm.
yeah. So I did CrossFit with him for almost maybe 2.5, maybe 3 years, and
Mm.
then I stopped for an injury that is unrelated to CrossFit. I had to do an operation in my left eye, and
Mm.
I had a very long recovery period, almost 18 months.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's just eye, it's very sensitive. So doctors they advised me to stay away from anything that is
Intense.
slightly
Hmm.
exactly intense or
Hmm.
heavy. It was man, like I couldn't even carry grocery bags. It was this to that extent.
Yeah.
But the only thing with me during that journey from starting CrossFit to the recovery period, running was just a constant that was with me along that way. And I think I developed over time my skills in running. I've always told a lot of people that running, I'm not a fast runner.
Mm.
I know that I can run long distances. I'm not a fast runner though. So fast forward to recovering from the injury and then joining a regular gym and then last year. And that's I think our topic for today. So last year I was visiting my family in the States,
Hmm.
and 2 days before I go back to Jordan, I fell on my back, and it was a very severe like injury. It was a very hard fall because I fell in a small like in a very short stairway, but like the way I fell down was just crazy, and
Mm.
I can't describe it now because all of a sudden I found myself on the ground.
And so this wasn't,
Uh,
this injury didn't happen inside of a gym or anything. It just happened.
no.
Yeah.
I was
Let me
in a
set the,
restaurant.
yeah, in a restaurant. Yeah.
I was having dinner with friends.
Hmm.
So to cut a long story short, so I did two doctors in the States and then again in Jordan. So I had something called, I think, prolapsed disc or a
Mm.
bulge disc, I guess.
Hmm.
Like I clearly remember my visit to the doctor in Jordan when he said that, listen, Muhammad, stretching is just as far as it can go when it comes to being active. And he stressed on that I need to stop any kind of physical activity after this injury. And I think little that he know that he actually killed something, like he killed that spirit
Mm.
in
Mm.
me to stay active as a human being. And I think like I don't want to exaggerate, but I think on that day for me, he announced the death of one of my closest friends, which is running, because
Yeah.
for me when I run, it's the time with myself. It's the time when
Hmm.
I just
You can
decide to
think and you can
isolate.
just.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, think or maybe not think at all.
Yeah.
And it was very frustrating. And I remember on that day, I was being driven by my brother to the doctors, and when he said that, I'm not sure if I should be saying this, but I burst down in tears. That
Mm.
is this the end of it? I
Mm.
can't believe this. So it took me a while to snap out of it, and then I had a
And
call with a friend.
basically,
Yeah,
like,
sorry.
I mean, I was just gonna say that. I mean, with a doctor, I mean, we trust our doctors so much, especially
Exactly.
especially in Jordan. I mean,
Yeah.
we really trust them. I mean, they're kind of the highest profession of them all. And so they'd seen the injury, and the counsel was, hey, this is it. Like you can stretch, and that's it. Like you can't
Yeah.
risk anything more than that. And that really that hurt to think what you had enjoyed and what you had experienced before you could never experience again. I mean, that's what he was telling you.
Exactly. And you
Mm.
know what, Joseph, I think that the medical culture in Jordan is very conservative and it's very old school. So for a doctor who's maybe 60 or maybe even older years old, for him, the safest thing to say is just
Yes.
stay rested, like get well
Yeah.
rested, and that's it for him
Yeah.
because it's just safe.
Well, I tell you what, I have so many people that come into the gym or call us and say, well, I've had a back injury and I used to be active, but I had a back injury, and now my doctor told me to do two things. They say swim and stretch, and that's it. And basically nothing else are you allowed to do. And so that's kind of what the counsel they gave you. Did they tell you to swim too, or just stretch?
Exactly. Yes, they did. And for someone who was raised on a coastline, I think I'm a good swimmer to a certain point, but it's my least favorite sport. Like I just don't like swimming. So after that, I have this very close friend of mine. He has different disc injuries, like in different spots on his back. Like mine is in the L5S1. I know for a fact that this guy, I know for a fact that this guy, he's like he does CrossFit, he plays soccer. So I called him up and I asked him like how he does it. So he said that CrossFit did help his improvement journey of especially his back injuries. So that's for in light of keeping an open mind, I decided to do some research. And I did, and I think I came across your name, and because we used to be together, you and I, in with one of life classes, and I remembered you as Joseph, and then I went to CrossFit Crescent. I thought it was next to 8th Circle, but then I found that you guys moved, and then I decided that I'm just gonna Google more where's your location at, and then I found this free consultation thing. And I remember that my first consultation session, it was with Coach Sumaya and Coach Saif. And Saif, he showed a lot of interest in my case. Apparently, like he's knowledgeable when it comes to back injuries. So he asked me if I can bring my scans so that he can just study more my case, and then we can talk about this later on. So I did, and I think Saif back then, he recommended a 1-1 sessions for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, just me and him, and he asked me if I don't join the group classes. So I have to respect his wishes for that,
counsel,
of course, because exactly, like he's the expert. And so I think one of the most noticeable things during the 1-1 sessions is that, like, every time I finish the class, I would just, like, the first thing that comes to my mind that this guy knows what he's doing,
It's different. It's different than the trainer saying, just go over there on the treadmill or go use that. But he was paying attention to what was going on and watching you.
Exactly. He given me his undivided attention in every minute of each class. The great thing about that is that your team of coaches, they just don't keep it to themselves. They talk to each other, and I found that they have even maybe a WhatsApp group where they communicate each case of each, especially members like me who requires special attention. Because once we finished the 1-1 classes, and Saif, he told me that I'm good to go when it comes to joining group classes. I think the first group class, Faisal was the coach, and like I approached Faisal because at that time I never had any conversation with Faisal, and I wanted to explain with him my situation. And then Faisal, he said that, Muhammad, don't worry, I am fully aware about your situation, and I'll just take care of you. And to be honest, that was comforting. It was music to my ears to know that there's, like, the team is just synced together. One of, I think, the most amazing things is that, for someone with a back injury, and I think by the time I joined Crescent, I still had bruises on my back, my hip, my glutes. So I was, like, extra careful about each and everything that I do.
Mm-hmm.
The great thing about that is that you guys know how to take care of someone who needs attention. What I mean by that is, so I think one of the very basic movement of CrossFit is deadlifts. You know that I think for 3 months in Crescent, I've never done the deadlifts the way that everyone else is doing it. First of all, I was doing, I think it's called elevated deadlifts, where they put the plates on the side, and I did on different, underneath the barbell, and I did different heights. So the more I progress, the more the height is shorter. And I think when I was ready to do it without being elevated, we did something called sumo deadlifts. It was specially recommended by Faisal, and it literally took me 3 months to do something that is today, when I think about it, is just very simple. But it took me 3 months to do deadlifts at CrossFit Crescent, because you guys knew that I should not be doing this like at once. Like I needed time, I needed attention, I needed training for me to do, deadlifts as it is nowadays. And something else just as simple as doing sit-ups. Like, I could not do sit-ups. It's for a lot of people that is very simple,
Yeah. Normal.
But for me, exactly. But for me, what Saif recommended back then is if I can do like a banded sit-ups. So I just, roll the band around the post, and I just use it to go back and forth. Exactly. For me, it was an amazing experience. But then the lockdown came, and I was so disappointed because I thought that now I'm just gonna go back to what I was before CrossFit, because now we're just gonna be in a lockdown. Exactly. And then you guys introduced the online classes in the very first week of lockdown. And even though we were doing very simple workouts using, things from around the house, but that made a lot of difference for me, I think, and for a lot of people. And I think during the lockdown, one of the most important things which I worked on as a person was the push-ups. Because I know for a fact that I have a very weak upper body muscles. Yeah, and Faisal and Saif, they had this great technique of how to build the skill of doing push-ups at home. And today, I can do 10 straight push-ups without feeling anxious about that, or feeling every time I saw a push-up on the WOD list, I'll just feel, oh my god, this is the one thing that I don't want to do. But
we all have skills like that, don't we? That we don't want to see on the board. Yeah,
exactly. And nowadays, for me, something as push-ups is just very easy. It's just like any other workout.
Sure.
So yeah, that's it. Today, now after 9 months, I can't say that I don't feel pain at all. I still do, but I think the way I'm coping with it and the way I am handling it, as I hope this word applies to me as an athlete, is just like nothing. It's like nothing I've felt before. Because nowadays, I'm just gonna tell you this very quick story with Saif during the 3 months rehab period. Saif, he told me that, Muhammad, why don't you, you told me that you're a runner, why don't you show me your skills? And I told him that I don't think that I can do that. It would really hurt my back. But he said, don't worry, it doesn't matter. I just want to see how you're gonna act about that. So we went outside in the football in the soccer courts. And it was biting cold. And he said, Muhammad, I want you to run for 400 meters and just come back. And I did. And I remember the pain was unimaginable to a point that I told him, Saif, I don't want to do it. But Saif knowing Saif, he has a technique, and I started running gradually over several classes. For someone who used to run between 12 to 15 kilometers in a single run, and now I can barely run 500 meters.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
discouraging too. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But nowadays, alhamdulillah, after 9 months, I can do that comfortably, and I can do that. I can't say that I don't feel pain now after I do I practice running, but what I can tell you is now I can, I know how to deal with this pain.
Yeah.
Now
I remember
I know
that was one thing I remember you telling me, that when you first started back with us, you would do a workout in the first few weeks and you were really afraid and concerned, like, how am I going to feel tomorrow morning? Right. Like that was a real, it can almost keep you up at night thinking about, I don't know, if I fall asleep, I'm going to wake up and my back is going to be locked up. And yeah, I mean, that's just, it's a terrible feeling to have that. And a terrible feeling to think I can only run 500 meters right after it was such a big part of your life.
Exactly. I think you're right about the fact that, the first few weeks I was very apprehensive when it comes to how am I going to feel the next morning. But my personal trainer, or Saif, he gave me this amazing trick, which is stretching. Stretching I never thought of stretching as something that I would do on a regular basis. Now it's a habit.
Yeah.
So he gave me a few stretching exercises to do in the morning and in the evening. And the way Saif described it, he said that think about this as if it's a medicine pill. So take it once in the morning and once in the evening. Just stretch once in the morning and once in the evening, and you will always feel better. And that's what actually, that's how I feel about this nowadays. So for me, before I set out myself to run in the morning or in the evening, I stretch before and after. I stretch maybe 2 hours before and 2 hours after, because I felt that stretching is just a life changing thing that nobody, like a lot of people take for granted, but in reality, the things that it does to your body, I can't explain in words. Like you have to experience this as a person. Exactly. Yeah.
Especially right now, because so many of our jobs just have us sitting in a desk, not moving. And so our bodies are just so tight, shoulders, forwards, and we're on our phones, and our hips.
Yeah.
So to take the time to really stretch, it is so important, and it makes such a difference. And it's simple. It's just a matter of, making time for it. But that's one of the questions I wanted you to speak to is, with such a busy life and family, and what have you learned, and what would be your counsel to people that have a busy life and big responsibilities from work, just as it comes to making fitness a priority?
Yeah. I think people, they should always find the time to improve their fitness status and fitness or well-being. For someone who works literally maybe 10 hours a day, maybe sometimes 12 hours a day, being part of this international brand, and I have a lot of demanding, bosses,
deadlines, and
have deadlines and a big team. So I always try to find at least 3 times a week, because it's a time for myself, because I always think about this, that not like in a few years down the line, if anything, God forbids, happen to me, it's me who's gonna take care of me. It's not gonna be my job. It's not gonna be my colleagues. It's not gonna be my family. I need to take care of myself.
Yeah.
So I always try as much as possible to dedicate the time to find this gym time, even if it was not a time at your box. If I just go back home and just put up the running gear and just go down to the street, I consider this as part of my fitness improvement journey, because again, I think every step I take just plays a very big role. It's going to play a very big role in my health status in the future.
Sure. Well,
Yeah,
that's such an important principle to think about, that our ability, to serve in our community and in our work and serve our families and to love them well. If we
yeah,
are in a place where our health is in poor shape, we're just not going to be able to do that. So just to prioritize that, to think 3 to 4 times a week, like you're seeing great progress.
yeah,
You're seeing that the impact both inside the gym, being able to do push-ups is just a great
yeah,
example of that development. And then the effect that it gives in terms of helping you work through stress and,
yeah.
and prepare yourself to be healthy far into the future.
Yeah, I think this is an objective that everyone should be seeking, and
Yeah.
I think that the people are watching us now. Most of them are athletes, and they understand that. But I think the your role as a CrossFit gym owner, I think you need to play a big role in the community of people who don't believe in that,
Yeah.
or maybe
Yeah.
who no one wise came and told them that they should be doing this. Because I told you, I started my journey at a very late
Late
stage. I
stage.
was I was exactly I was 30 years old, and
Mm-hmm.
for someone who never had the foundation, like can you
Sports.
imagine the exactly
Yeah.
the amount of injuries that I faced during the past maybe 8 or 9 years, because I never had the foundation. Like I
Mm-hmm.
never, like no one ever came and told me that you need to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's maybe the sad part about the culture in our region. Sport is never, like, it never plays a big role in a lot of people's lives. Like very few are the
Mm-hmm.
people who adopt sports to be part of their healthy living.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess I was part of this unfortunate segment of people who just never practiced
Well,
sport before.
but if you think you really overcame at least two, maybe even three big things though, and that is, one, you didn't have any kind of sport or fitness, growing up, but you were still willing to, you knew you wanted to try something. And then
Yeah,
two, you ended up with an injury from
yeah,
totally outside of the gym. And then you were
yeah,
even told, you can't really, only stretch and swim for that injury, but you still
yeah,
overcame that. Um, and then you've overcome just the busyness of life too, and the stress, and then to think of what you've done with the corona and the shutdown and how you continued to train. It's just really
yeah,
inspiring. And I'm really
yeah.
glad, Rose here and some other people were just talking about how inspiring your story is. And it really
Yeah,
is.
I'm
And
glad.
yeah, I really appreciate
I'm glad.
you taking the time.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Joseph. Just one last thing that I wanted to say is
Yeah.
I think part of the thing that kept me motivated is the fact that I have people in my life whom I consider as idols when it comes to fitness. So throughout this, the past 8 years, I had this amazing running partner. Her name is Wajiha. She's just a great person of mine. Like, she's a very great friend of mine, and she always kept me motivated. Like, she's the one who, like, we would just set a target that today we're gonna run 5 kilometers, tomorrow we're gonna run 7, the day after we're gonna run 10. So she kept me going. And then I have Leif. He was all, like, he played a very big role in my
Yeah.
life, and at the very early stages through my fitness journey.
Fitness journey.
And yeah, so I guess having people around you who just
Mm-hmm.
keep telling you to go on
Yeah.
is just very important for you to keep going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's so true.
Yeah,
It's coaches and it's friends.
yeah,
And I hope that we can be that, friend and a family for the people that we love, and help them just take the next step in this journey. Because we really need each other these days with Corona, and just seeing, the real danger of it is not
yeah,
for the healthy, it's for the people that are facing the diabetes, and they're facing obesity, and they're facing high blood pressure. And see, that can all, I like to think that the true pandemic had already happened, and that is the obesity and diabetes that our cultures are facing, and really health and fitness is our way to really be able to fight back against that. And you're right, we need each other in that journey. And so I'm thankful for you, bud, and I'm thankful for how you're encouraging your friends and family, and you just have an amazing story, and we're glad to play our role in it here just in these last 9 months, and on into the future till the اليوم القيامة inshallah.
Habibi, man, thank you so much. And I think that my next steps are going to be, building this, my weak guns. So it's going to be a journey that I will start next week with Saif, and I'm looking forward for that.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to do that, and again, just love to hear your story and how we love to provide that kind of one-to-one attention and the enjoyment of our group classes, and you're an inspiration. So. Really glad to have had this time. Thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you for giving me the chance. And
I hope to see you
in Jordan very soon. Yeah,
I do. I will. You'll see me soon. Okay.
All right. See you.
All right. We'll talk soon.
Bye bye. Inshallah. Bye bye.